Now the plan, 4 weeks. Let's look real quick so as we start going through the plan, all right, we know what the supporting material is. All right, so you have the IHP 10 and 4 diet, and it's 28 pages, okay? 28 pages. Yep. 28. So the first page, you can see the supplements, okay? And you can see that I did not forget the fish oils, which I didn't mention in the slide, but first supplement is omega-3. I like Ocean Blue, okay, 2100 Pro. It's available on Amazon now. It's like $32 for 120 pills or something like that. It's almost a gram per pill. So I take 2 to 3 grams, 2 to 3 big pills per day. Solid, man, solid. I've been on that thing. Yeah. Rio is going to start firing off links to you. The multivitamin, right now I'm using, I think it's Code for Men from Healthy, what is it, Shapiro's company. Check the multivitamin that I have in my office. So anyways, that multivitamin, 1 a day. I take like 2 a days. Oh, Twin Labs. Twin Labs has awesome, big multivitamin, multiminerals. You can take one of those, 1 mega. They have men and women differently. Men are with no iron. Women are with iron. That's the only difference between men and women. Women can take the multivitamin that men can take. Men don't necessarily, it's not necessarily recommended that men take that one, okay, because of the iron.
The fish oil, omega-3 or fish, is it
the omega-3 fish oil, Blue Ocean, okay. The multivitamin, Twin Lab, or the other one, Rio will go get it. I forgot the name of it. The vitamin D3 that I use is Jarrow, but you can get, vitamin D3 is easy to get. I use Jarrow, 5,000 units. I do 5,000 units every day, and every other day I do 7,500. And that, by blood work, that is what's necessary. I need to average about 7,500 units a day to come in without being deficient and to keep me kind of in the middle. Actually, I'm in the high. I'm not, a little bit more and I'm deficient. So I'm kind of like at the 75, 80 percentile, okay? So you maybe with you with 5,000 every other day, which is the dose that they recommend, maybe with you that would be normal. How do you know? You go regular blood work. You take blood works every 3 to 6 months. That's what I do. All right, so let me show you what we got here, okay? This one here is vanilla flavor, okay? This one here is vanilla flavor, right there. All right, so you don't need the vanilla flavor. They have another one. Garden of Life. This is my buddy, Jordan Shapiro, right here. That's the one I'm taking now, but Twin Lab also has a good one. And the Jarrow. That's the one I take. That's the one I take. I've got no deals with these people. Maybe I should. The zinc, chelated zinc, okay? And apple cider vinegar and whey protein, as indicated. So that's your first supplements. Menus for week 1 and 2. Boom, give you more of the same. Okay. Yeah, if you're getting the apple cider, get the one with the mother. Yeah. It's over there in my in my office as well. And when you're doing apple cider, don't slush it around your mouth. Don't keep it in your mouth a whole lot, because if they drop a tooth in a glass of apple cider, the apple cider vinegar will eat away at the enamel. But it doesn't do that in transient passing through the gums and stuff like that, especially if you chase it with water. Okay, so Rio's putting it, what is it called, Mott's or something like that? Bragg's. Yeah, Bragg apple cider vinegar. Make sure it's got the mother. And yeah, Publix. It's nothing. It's like $4. Very cheap. All right, so now on page 3, okay, we're going to have women's, okay? And the difference between women and men is just calories. That's it. That's it, guys. All right, so basically you'll see the same menus with different portions. So day 1 through day 7 for women is 1,300 calories. All right? And that starts on page 3. And it goes, for the women, it goes to page 9. So this is kind of what it looks like. All right, you got your menus for the day. And then on page 10, okay, I start 1,800 calories for men. All right, so I did 1,300 and 1,800 for a reason, because most of you will cheat, okay? And that'll get you 14 or 15, which is normally what I do with athletes, that if you tell them 15, they do 15. You can't do that with fitness people. You do 15, they do 18. So I start with 13 to give them a little bit of cheat, okay? And 1,800 for men. There's no way that if you're 135, 140 pounds and you're a woman and you're eating 1,300 calories, you're starving. No friggin' way, okay? If you're a man and you're 200 pounds, 220 pounds, and you're eating 1,800 calories, you are not starving. This is not a starvation diet. So if you feel like the world is coming to an end, get your head right. It's not coming to an end. You're not starving, okay? So the men's calories are 1,800. And you can see 7 menus there. So you have all your different types of menus. You have different types of days. These are all what we call isocaloric or zone-ish. Okay, the zone diet is 40% carbs, 30% fat, and 30% protein. Okay, isocaloric, made popular by Dan Duchaine back in the 90s, okay, was 33% carbs, 33% fat, and 33% protein. So isocaloric is equal amounts of your 3 macros. Zone diet makes it a little heavier on the carbs, 40%, but it's still very low relative to the 75 and 80% carbs of the 80s from the Dean Ornish times, when the whole Dean Ornish thing came out and McDougall program came out, and you were doing 80% carbs, 10% protein, 10% fat, or less fat. The less fat, the better. And then what did we do in the 80s? We created the diabetic generation with all these carbs. So now we got a problem. Then came Dr. Barry Sears with the zone diet, talking about that all this carb that we were doing due to the Dean Ornish type of carb loading and McDougall carb loading. He said, hey man, this is not good. This is insulin, this is diabetes, this is a lot of bad stuff. You can't eat pasta and rice to your heart's content. And then we started with the zone diet, and I like that a little bit better. All right? So the first 2 weeks are zone-ish, isocaloric. You still have some good carbs, some good amount of carbs, good amount of protein, and great fiber. I think the lowest fiber intake for one of these diets is like 22, 25 grams per day. All right, some of these diets are hitting 35 grams per day. So it's not a 50-gram fiber day, and it's certainly not a 5-gram fiber day. It is very healthy, between 20 and 35. It's beautiful. That's great fiber. It's going to keep you regular. It's going to keep you lean. It's going to keep things moving through your GI tract. All right, so then we go to week number 2. Week number 2, I want you to increase 100 calories. How do you increase that? 1 scoop of whey. How easy is this? So you use the same calories that you did at 13 and 18, and you go 1 extra scoop. Or you can do a half a scoop in the morning and a half a scoop at night. If you're only doing 1 shake, 1 scoop. 1 scoop is about 100 calories. Done. And now you've turned it into a 1,400 and 1,900 calorie diet, loading it up on the protein, okay, which has a diuretic effect. So that's why we did it. Week 1, frequency. Week 2, we up a little bit, more protein, more water. So we're going to train your body. We're going to give it an environment where it wants to pee, and then we're going to give it an excuse to pee, and we're going to bang the gallon of water, 3/4 of a gallon of water, and we're going to get this body used to feeding and used to releasing things. Release everything. Release my fat with glucagon. Release my sodium and my phosphate and all my toxic crap with this water that I'm putting. Oh, by the way, I'm going to go high on the urea from the protein, and the body needs to get rid of this urea, all right, which is acidic, uric acid. Boom, and it's more pee, more pee, more pee. So it's beautiful. So this second week, we up the protein a little bit, we up the consumption a little bit, we up the cardio a little bit. We're going to go through this, right? Then week number 3, now at week number 3, and we're going to go through all this in a little bit more detail, right? Look at what we got here, okay? I have given you the zone diet. I gave you a moderate carbohydrate diet. And I gave you a low carbohydrate diet. So now you have high carbs, okay, which are, okay, your moderate carbs, you have them here in men. At week number 3, we're going to start manipulating. And I gave you, week number 3 here, which page 21, I gave you a lower carb, I gave you a super low carb, and I gave you a high carb. So you have 4 styles of eating. You have zone isocaloric, more or less in there. You have a low carb, lower carb, a very low carb, and a high carb, okay? The low carb is about 30% carbs, okay? More kind of isocaloric a little bit there. The low carb is 20% carb, and the high carb is 50% carb. And what we're going to do in week number 3, which is on page 20, is we're going to start teaching you how to manipulate carbs. How to work with carbs, how to work with, one day I'm just going to walk really light. Man, I'm going to crank the carbs way down. I'm going to force my body to go after the fat. But I'm not going to alter it too much. I'm not going to piss it off too much. Okay, I'm just going to walk. One day, you know what? I want to do a little bit of CrossFit today. I want to do a little bit of sprints today. I want to do a little bit of metabolic today. I want to go a little harder today. Then you do your high carb day that day, and you feed your workout. Got it? So you can see the week that we put together on week number 3 on page 20, and you can see what happens. We start manipulating those carbs, and what happens is those carbs start freaking your body out in a good way, because remember, now you're consuming 1,400, 1,900 calories, nutrient rich, constant fiber, constant water. Your body is in a state of abundance. Your body's going, Jesus, there's stuff coming in everywhere. Dude, it's okay. Get rid of this water. Get rid of this fat. Get rid of this stuff. Get things moving, okay? You created metabolic inertia. Metabolic inertia with all these feedings. What's metabolic inertia? Metabolic inertia is when you take a slow metabolism that's in everybody who's overweight, because if you have a fast metabolism, you're not overweight. So the reason you're in this and you're having this conversation with me is because you have a slow metabolism, or you don't have one of these fast metabolism where you can eat everything and you got veins in your abs. Who has that, right? 1%, maybe less. So if you have that, if you have that, then you have that, right? If you have a slow metabolism, usually it's genetic, and a lot of times it's yo-yo dieting. People have messed up their metabolism through dieting, and that is restriction, abundance, restriction, abundance, restriction, abundance, and so your metabolism is broken. It's like this. So these feedings, this overwhelming abundance and regularity of nutrition and water creates a metabolism that is given the permission to speed up, because your metabolism drops to protect you from you, all right? And sometimes it drops because of thyroid issues. Sometimes it drops because it was always low. Bottom line is, you got to get your metabolism going. Whether it's genetically slow, speed it up a little bit. If it's thyroid, go to the doctor and get your T3, T4 checked and get that regulated, because if that's not regulated, this thing is going to be an uphill battle. You can still win it. You can still win it, but you need your thyroid to be working. If you're a female, make sure that gets checked. You got to get your hormonal thing right, because if not, you'll be successful, but I don't know if you'll be successful for the long haul, because it's swimming uphill. It's swimming up current, right? And so that's what you want to do. All this feeding, metabolic inertia. The manipulating the carbs are now that the body's using up stuff, you're going to tell the body, hey, give me a little bit more of that. Hey, give me a little bit more of that. And that is fat. Hey, give me a little bit more of that. So every time the body's starting to go, hey, change the leptin, the ghrelin, all this, because they're starving. Every time the body starts to do that, boom, you switch it around on them. So your body's following the carbs. The carbs start to drop, insulin starts to drop, and your leptin, your hormone, your full hormone starts to drop. So you're always hungry. That's how it happens. Insulin drops, sugar drops. The body says, hey man, I need sugar to run my brain. How does it do that? It affects leptin. Leptin goes up. Leptin says, I'm hungry. Leptin up says I'm full. Leptin down says I'm hungry. So as insulin drops, carbs drop, insulin drops, I'm hungry, okay? Leptin drops. So leptin follows insulin. Insulin drops, leptin drops. Insulin goes up, leptin goes up. When leptin is up, I'm full. Why? Insulin is up. Why? Because sugar is up. Why? Because you fed. So the body starts looking at leptin, low, 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 and all you got to do is feed a little bit of carbs and leptin gets reset. So you don't want leptin, ghrelin, insulin, glucagon. You don't want none of that stuck. You want all of that. Insulin goes up, glucagon goes down. And as soon as insulin goes down, glucagon goes up. Glucagon goes up, we release fat. Beautiful. Leptin goes up, I'm full. Ghrelin goes up, I'm hungry. And it's this that you want. It's the balance between opposing hormones where the thing happens. And this manipulation of carbs is for that. So there's no hormones that get stuck. To make your hormones do this, because this is what, you don't need this. You don't need this, you need this. Okay? And this you can do with this diet. And that is part of the metabolic inertia, right? So you see on page 20, that's the first time that we start manipulating carbs, all right? And you can see that the water consumption in week number 3 went up. So we start you with half a gallon in week number 2. Week number 3, we go to 3/4 a gallon. By week number 4, we're at a gallon. By week number 5, we're over a gallon. And if you can be over a gallon at week number 4, that's great. Why? Teaching the kidneys how to get rid of water. With that water goes all the crap you don't need in your body, especially in the fluids. All right, so our target is this. Week number 1, we're going to target 3 pounds, 4 pounds. And you target that with 2 pounds of fat, 1,000 calorie deficit. All right, but a lot of that first week, when you clean those nitrates and phosphates and all the crap that you've been eating, and you feed that water is going to start releasing, and 3, 4 pounds total is easy. This is what we call the honeymoon phase. Wow, things fit looser. You wake up in your morning and your belly's down to your spine and you're like, oh, this is awesome. Honeymoon. If you're a personal trainer, you want to take advantage of that, man, because it's that enthusiasm that you want to fly on the wings of that first week. That's how you take off. If that first week, people go through sacrifices and changes, and they don't see anything, whoo, it's hard to sell them on the next 3. You sell them on the next 3 with that first one. So it's imperative. If you're a trainer, you're on that text, you're on that phone. How are you doing? Everything great? Great. You take a walk right now. Take a walk right now. Make sure, get that out of your, go to Publix and buy that right now. So you want to be supportive that first week because you need this, okay? Then the second week is going to slow down because you don't have the water. The third week, boom. And then the last week, it's just going to be a lot of water manipulation, all right?